Hello everyone, welcome back to Hermione's Horror Reviews. On this channel I do horror book hauls, horror book reviews, both physical and digital media, horror audiobooks, and so much more. And I am really looking forward to dipping my toes into some good horror audiobooks in the future. So that is going to be quite an interesting thing, and I'm looking forward to it. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about something I've been seeing on TikTok way too much that should not even be a thing. But with the history that horror has in connection with how much the religious community does not like horror, this should not have been a surprising thing. So but 2 days ago, I wanted to go and see the movie Sinners. Unfortunately, I ended up spending most of my money on things that I needed for my new job, and I took like $150 and put that aside for my Lyft rides so that I could get to and from work without any problems. Though, because my brother works at the same place I will be working at, we are going to actually shift. I'm going to pay for the to, and he's going to pay for the from. Now he's also going to give me like $60 so I can put in my savings so I have enough money to get, essentially to get me through until my next paycheck and all that. So several days before I want to go and see Sinners, I had been watching TikTok videos, and most of them were from religious people that historically, what I mean by that is, if you look at the stuff that happened, with, when you, I think it was the Exorcism or Exorcist that had the people literally like fainting in movie theaters, and I really do want to see that movie. And of course, how the occult has been used in horror movies for quite a long time. This kind of backlash was not something that I was shocked about. And the thing about Sinners is that it goes and it depicts a very uncomfortable aspect of what a lot of black religious individuals don't like, and that is hoodoo, voodoo, things like that. So to them, hoodoo and voodoo are demonic, evil things because they have been raised to hate that part of what their ancestors did once upon a time in a faraway place. For people that don't know, voodoo was, or voodoo, I'll use the word voodoo, because it's easier to pronounce, was very essential for how a lot of people of color, people that were forced from Africa through very inhumane ways, even by their own people. They were sold by their own people to the white man. And they were put on these boats and they were treated like animals, not like what they were, people. And I'm very passionately disgusted by the slave trade. I am. Even though slavery's been around in some form or the other for a long, long time, next to prostitution is the oldest business in the world. So you have these people that get on there on TikTok because that's the only place they can go, because it's short form video and they can get their dumb point out very quickly. That if you go and see Sinners, that you need to reassess your relationship with Christ. Oh, what the fuck? Really? So you can tell a bunch of Christians that if they go and see a movie they've been wanting to see for quite some time, that they need to reassess their relationship with Christ. Ooh. Whatever. Okay? Why are you telling people what to do? I do not understand it. I don't think I ever will want to understand it. But this is the history of horror. This, especially in a religious context. Religious people do not like horror. They don't be reminded that their whole world sucks, but that's just me. On the 24th, or I'm gonna try to. I gotta see what my schedule is like. But at some point, I am going to go and see the movie Sinners. And when I see the movie Sinners, I will do a review of it, full of spoilers and everything. Another thing that also confuses me is there's two cultures that are depicted in the movie. There's African culture and there is Irish culture. And the Irish here in America and the Irish over there in Ireland, they're very happy to see their culture depicted on the screen, though one is more into gatekeeping than the other. So as long as horror has been around in any kind of form, it has always been attacked by religious nutjobs that do not want you to even read a horror book, watch a horror movie, none of that stuff. And it's really, really disgusting, because when you go and you are, as a person of color, you go on TikTok and you're telling people, don't go see the movie, don't go see the movie, you're in essence are saying that the bullshit, let me rephrase that. You go and you're talking about the culture of the black man. And when you encounter as part of the culture of the black man that you don't happen to like, you go on TikTok and you bash it. And it gets me, as somebody who's read history, this is why I'm not fooled by things that other people are fooled by, because I read it and I remember it, and that's the important aspect of history, is you read it and you ingest it and you don't make the same mistakes that your ancestors did all those centuries ago. I want to. They do not like voodoo. They don't like voodoo, even though it's so ingrained in Haitian culture. And it came over to New Orleans. It was a way that people of color kept their religion alive. But you don't like that. But now I remember I was about ready to say, this guy gets on there and talking about the Ethiopian church, and it's about, okay, here's a little tidbit information to the guy who doesn't know anything about how the Ethiopians became Christian. There was a lot of them that willingly converted to Christianity, but the other group were forcibly converted to Christianity. And then you go further down to down. And you got cultures that never encountered Christianity until the white people showed up. And they grabbed them. And they were forcibly converted to Christianity. That was what they did. That's how they Christianized Africa. How they Christianized the slave ports and all that other stuff that people here don't want to acknowledge. They don't acknowledge that slaves were forcibly converted. There's this one idiot woman that was actually happy about slavery. I'm like, I want to throw a rock at the television just to get rid of her face. because she made me violently ill. Just, why? Why do you think slavery was so good? Well, they saved me from praying to a tree. What? I wanted to throw up. I literally wanted to fucking throw up at this woman. But I settled with just clicking her off. Less violent and less damage to your personal effects. But yeah, so I just want to get on here, and I wanted to basically say that look, you have the right to go and see any kind of movie that you want to see. Don't listen to people on TikTok. They don't know you, okay? They don't know you. They don't know your relationship with Christ or any of that type of stuff. They just make assumptions that they know, and they don't know. But anyways, I'm going to go see the movie Tubi, which I have on my little Kindle Fire. I'm going to try to watch a horror movie today or something like that. I will, however, do a review of Vampire Dad, because I did rewatch that one. I think it was last month I rewatched it. And also, I am going to do, because I've never watched the show in my entire existence, I'm actually going to do a complete review of, like, season 1 of Sleepy Hollow, but that's going to be after I watch all of the episodes. So, yeah, I got it last month, and I own the licensing to it. So I will try to watch that episode. And so, like, I'll talk about the costumes and the locations and all that type of stuff. So yeah, so that will actually be the next video for Vampire Dad. And, yeah, I will see you guys, I'll see you guys next time, or in a little bit. Bye.